Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to call the March 2nd meeting of the Common Council to order. I will ask our clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Stefanski.
Here.
Tenorio.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Grisham. Here. Haas.
Here.
Keen. Here. Lysick.
Here.
Reinke. Here. Rote.
Here.
10 present.
We have a quorum. Please rise if you are able and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderman Stefanski.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item D on our agendas, we have one public hearing, which I will ask the clerk to read.
Resolution to confirm and adopt the report of the city engineer containing the schedule of proposed assessments for improvement of West Washington Street from South 108th Street to South 112th Street, South 75th Street from West National Avenue to Dead End South, and South 90th Street from West Arthur Place to South 89th Street by minor asphalt resurfacing with miscellaneous walk repair, storm sewer relay, sanitary sewer relay, and utility adjustments.
And I'll turn things over to Mr. Daniels.
Thank you, Mayor Devine. So this is the public hearing for 3 streets, Washington, 75th, and 90th. So here's the first one, Washington Street from 108th Street, or Highway 100, to 112th. This street was built in 2 phases, 1964 and 1977, so it's 44 to 57 years old. Badly potholed, all the joints have deteriorated. It has lasted as long as a concrete street is designed to last. The second street is 75th Street by the library from National to the Dead End. This street was originally built in 1989, so it's 32 years old. But it is badly deteriorated, and if we don't do something now, we may end up rebuilding it. So I want to try and resurface it now to extend the life of the pavement, get another 20 to 30 years with the asphalt resurface. And then the third street is 90th Street from Arthur to 89th. And that was built in 1982 and has lasted way longer than an asphalt street normally lasts, 39 years. Badly potholed. A lot of the potholes are under the trees for some reason. I haven't figured that out, but badly potholed all along the length of the street. So what we're proposing to do is leave in the curb and gutter, the concrete curb and gutter, repair it if there's puddles or sags or something, we would repair it. We would put a new asphalt surface over the top, like is shown here. There would be some minor repairs to the underground sewer, sanitary, storm, a little bit of water main work. If there are trippers or cracked pieces of sidewalk, we would replace those. We're not replacing all the sidewalk, just the parts that are cracked or broken. And we would try to keep the streets open at all times with two-way traffic. We're not proposing to completely close the streets. There would be a time when this is happening, when they're paving it, when you probably would, if you need to get out, you'd have to park on a side street. But for the most part, the road will be open at night once they're done. And this is what it'll look like when it's done, a new black asphalt road with some of the curb repaired, some of the sidewalk repaired. And it should last another 20 to 30 years on top of the concrete it's already there. This is the cost for all 3 of the streets together. It's almost $1 million. It's $600,000 for pavement, $49,000 for some sanitary sewer repairs, $200,000 for some storm sewer, and a little bit of water main at $17,000, so $935,000. This is where the funding is coming from. The majority is coming from the general property tax, $500,000. The special assessments that the abutting property owners are paying is 17%, about $157,000. Then the rest is coming from the utilities, the sanitary utility, 5%, stormwater utility, 22%, water utility, 2%. These are all citywide fees So everyone in the city is paying them. Everyone in the city is paying this. This portion is the only portion that the abutting property owners are paying. Here's a sample calculation for a special assessment. It's very simple. A 50-foot lot times the assessment rate of $41.48 comes to $2,000, $2,074 for the property. Now, it's very important the bills, what you got in the mail was not a bill, that was an estimate. The bills will not go out until March of 2022, so a year from now. And if you sign up for the 10-year installment plan, you wouldn't have to make your first payment until December of 2022. So that's almost 21 months from now, that's almost 2 years. So you don't have to worry about making any payments for almost 2 years. You can rest assured. Like I said, there would be payment options when the time comes. You could pay it all off in a lump sum. You could go on a 5-year plan, you could go on a 10-year plan. On a 10-year plan, assuming 4% interest, your first payment for the whole year would be $290, so that's $24 a month. And then the 10th year, in the year 2031, it would be $216 for the whole year. That's about $18 a month. So the reason that we have 4% interest is because we do borrow the money for these projects, and the city is merely passing along these interest charges to the residents that choose the 5 or 10-year payment plan. The city is not making a profit off that interest. It's just passing that interest on through to keep it fair to the people who are not opting for the plan. So only the people that are opting for the extended payment plan are paying the interest. So why do we special assess? We've actually been doing it for over 110 years because the people who live on the street have a unique benefit that no one else in the city is getting because they're the ones benefiting from this new street. In the past, when the city was being built in the 20s, the residents paid up to 100% of the cost of the street in front of their house and the sewer as well. As I said before, on this particular project, we're collecting $157,000, and that's only 17% of the total cost. So the assessment rate is $41.48 per foot for any, it's incorrect, any property, any residential property, anywhere in the city, no matter how wide the street is or how high the traffic volumes are or how high the actual bid prices are. Everyone pays $41.48 per foot, whether you live on Lincoln or whether you live on 90th Street. Everybody's treated, exactly equally. And we've been, as I said, we've been doing this for over 110 years because it has been a state law for over 110 years. And there have been over 100 court cases that I'm aware of where a judge has upheld this law as a fair and reasonable method to recoup the cost of these projects. So this method has been around for a long time, has stood the test of time. Another reason we do it is special assessments are the only way to ensure that tax-exempt schools, churches, charities, hospitals, county parks, utilities, railroads, all pay their fair share. No one is exempt from special assessments, even though there are 430 properties in the city that do not pay any property taxes. So many of these tax-exempt schools, churches, and hospitals and county parks are very large pieces of land, as you can see on this map here. They actually encompass about 28% of the whole city land area. So it's a sizable portion of the city that is tax exempt. By way of example, on these projects, Lane Intermediate School will be paying $10,000, and Lifeway Church, which is in the old Masonic Lodge, will be paying $2,200 in special assessments. So those are two examples of entities that don't pay us any money other than through the special assessments. Likewise, businesses, corporations, and manufacturers pay a higher rate to ensure they contribute their fair share because they have more traffic and customers. So their rate would be $51 or $62 per foot, depending on whether they're a business or a manufacturer. And this is a map that shows all the parcels, at least in the east end of town, that have paid a special assessment in the past 10 to 15 years. It's almost everybody, and if you go back far enough, everybody has paid in the city at least once, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. So everybody's paying for the street in front of their house, and then we all use everybody else's street, and it all comes out pretty much in the wash. So We are planning to get these projects underway in June. At least Washington and 90th Street would probably start in about June, and 75th Street might start a little later in August to avoid the summer reading program at the library. So, but we will be sending out letters alerting everyone when the jobs would start. The best way to get updates weekly is to sign up for the construction and progress report. If you go to our city website, it's I think about the 10th one down. Click on that and you can get the schedule of any road closures, schedule, contact information, and it comes out as often as needed, sometimes even more than every week. So that would be the best way to find out what's happening on a weekly basis with your project. So with that, that's all I have. If there's any questions.
Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Daniels. Are there any questions from the members of the Common Council on the public hearing?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Weigel?
Pete, I got a couple questions about the 75th Street project. There's about 10 houses on 75th, and more than a few of them are duplexes. So maybe we'll call that 30 cars there that are going to be impacted on a regular basis. The nearest adjacent side streets are obviously to the west is 76th Street. There isn't any parking there at 76th Street. Are we going to let them use the library parking lot for their parking?
Well, that's a good suggestion. I'll talk to our city librarian and see if that's possible.
And then the other question is, oftentimes when there's road construction in the neighborhood, the construction company themselves, their employees need a place to park, and they will stockpile materials or equipment there. I just want to make sure we have it all clear. I assume the contractor would be using the library parking lot also. I mean, do we make a deal with either the church or Library Square or something?
Well, I'll talk to our city librarian because I know we're trying to avoid the summer reading program, which will be going on in June, July, and part of August. So maybe that's possible. That back parking lot maybe doesn't always get used when it's not the summer reading program. That's a good suggestion. And actually the gas company is out there right now. So they are taking up quite a few parking spots right now. That's unrelated to this project, but so that's a very good point. I can talk to him.
And I believe the library has a newer, like, permeable parking lot installed, and I just want to make sure that we're not putting heavy equipment on it that would not do it good.
Right,
So,
that's a good point too.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Alderman Weigel. Any other questions from the members of the council? Hearing none, are there any questions from the members of the audience on this item? Okay. Hearing none, we will close public hearing number 1 and our only public hearing, and we will move on to item E on our agendas, which is public comment. This is when the council may receive information from members of the public. Each speaker must announce their name and address and sign in. I did notice we had 2 people signed in at the podium, and please limit your comments to one statement of no more than 5 minutes. Just for everyone's awareness, we can't take action on these items because they are not on the agenda, and we can't get into discussions, but we can listen, and we will. Does anybody wish to address the council under public comment this evening? Come on up, please.
Good evening. My name is Kurt Konecki. I'm with the Gordon Flush Company. We're a business located on 11021 West Lincoln Avenue here in the city of West Dallas. We've been a resident as far as a commercial business for 38 years. And thank you for the time this evening. So the purpose of me visiting today is that I've been engaged with a RFP number 21-001. I've worked with Tony in your IT department, your IT director, and as we've been engaged with the RFP, it was launched in the middle of December. We turned in our RFP response in middle of January, and there were 13 competitors engaged in the process, and the finalists were down to 3 finalists, Gordon Flush Company being one of them, then being wound down to 2 finalists in essence in the end. And the decision has been made to go with a different finalist. And I sent an email out this morning to all of you folks on the council, so I appreciate your time in looking at that. My intentions are to garner some time with each of you folks to have a conversation regarding where we landed in the process itself. It's certainly been a rewarding experience for us as a company. Tony's done an outstanding job, so you should be proud of him as far as an IT director for the city. He's certainly professional and top-notch. But we feel that we should be awarded the RFP based upon being a city resident for 38 years and a taxpayer for many years. The disparaging difference on price is the nominal amount of $12,000 over a 5-year term, or $2,000 some odd dollars here over a yearly basis. So not a big amount of money, but certainly our team, being all of our employees in our Milwaukee office, spend a lot of time in the city of West Dallas. Likewise with myself, I've been with Gordon Flush Company for 31 years, and I have a lot of respect for the city, and so do our owners. We own our building and many other buildings in many other cities throughout Wisconsin and the Midwest. So I'd like to entertain a discussion to further talk through this and see how we can change the decision. Our product line as far as technology, we have Tier 1 products, Canon and Ricoh. The chosen provider has a Tier 2 product, which we're very intimate with over the years. We also handled that product ourselves for many years and chose to move in different directions for good reason. So I think it's a worthy discussion to have further conversations on, and I certainly appreciate your time and respectfully thank you for myself and our owners of our company, and I look forward to having future conversations with all of you folks. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Anybody else wish to address the council? Come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Attorney Susan Roth, R-O-T-H. I'm here at the kind invitation of Mayor Devine to introduce myself. I am a judicial candidate for Milwaukee County Circuit Court Branch 3. I live in the Bayview neighborhood of Milwaukee, and I'm committed to bringing an objective, non-politicized view to the bench, as well as my nearly 15 years of experience in private practice. I'm a partner in a private law firm in downtown Milwaukee. My website is www.roth.judge.com. Thank you so much for your time. It's lovely to meet all of you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that wishes to address the council on the public comment section this evening? Okay. Hearing none, we will close section E of our agendas, and we will move to item F. Our standing committees will be meeting soon after we call for recess for the purpose of discussing or acting upon the remaining matters on the council agenda. The location of these meetings is listed on the agenda along with the matters referred.
Mayor Devine,
Item G, yeah?
clarification for our meeting for recess meetings. It's noted advisory, public works and safety and development are in room G12 Art Gallery, and room 128 is license in health and administration and finance. Is that an error? Okay, so where are the respective committees meeting?
Oh, I'm on the wrong page.
Safety and Development, Administration, and Finance should be in room 128.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Item G, Mayor's Report. Just one thing I wanted to mention tonight. We are working on an effort in this community that we borrowed from the entity onmilwaukee.com to do a cash mob for restaurants in West Dallas. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is a cash mob? A cash mob is when you pick a certain business and you work with the business to pick a specific night and try to really bring them a lot of business. And our current and first cash mob is going on as I speak at Crawdaddy's on Greenfield right now. I stopped in earlier and picked up dinner for the family, and we are going to be picking a new restaurant each week, hopefully from all different parts of the city and all different cuisines that our city offers. And it's really a way to just give a boost to our small businesses and our restaurants in West Dallas that have been struggling over the pandemic and the winter. I know in general February is already a slow month for restaurants, but when you combine that with the COVID factor in our community, they're hurting, and that this is a way to support them through this. I tell people, if you're not comfortable dining in, a lot of them offer delivery service or curbside pickup, or you could even just order a gift card and use that when things get back to normal. So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up and a reminder that Crawdaddy's on Greenfield is taking place right now. We'll be announcing another restaurant in the coming weeks. Trying to do one a week, and we'll go as long as we find participants and as long as the participants are seeing some success. So that does conclude the mayor's report this evening. We'll go to item H, which are any reports from the alderpersons. No
Mayor
reports.
Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
I move for approval of the minutes of the February 17th, 2021 Common Council meeting.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any changes to the minutes? If not, all in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. I will ask License and Health Chair, Alderman Vitale, would you like to make a motion to approve?
I would like to have it done now, So the License and Health Committee member met February 23rd, so everybody was present. So at this time, I move to adopt the committee report.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve.
Second.
No
No
second needed.
No second.
This is the consent, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Any discussion?
I withdraw my second.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Stefanski.
Aye.
Tenorio.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Keen.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Now we'll move to item K.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move to adopt all of the recommendations for items 9 to 17 included.
Mayor Devine,
Yes.
can we pull
Alderperson.
number 10 out for a discussion?
Yes. So then the motion will be
So then I
adjusted.
would amend the motion to be, to adopt all recommendations for 9 and 11 through 17.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Haas. If there is no discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And
On
now,
item 10, did you want that referred to committee, or you want to discuss, vote on it separately?
I just had a question that I'm not sure if someone can answer. I was just curious about the type of trees that are going to be planted and wanted to ensure we're not going all ash trees.
I can probably guarantee you without having the Public Works Director even have to stand up to, that we're not doing ash trees.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
There are no ash trees planned to be purchased or any replacement. Certain areas within the city, we are replacing those ash trees with other species.
Okay.
If you need specific numbers on each species,
No, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't ash, that's all.
Fair enough.
Mayor Devine, I would then move for approval of item number 10.
Second.
There's a motion and a second by Alderperson Keen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries.
Mayor Devine, I move to recess until the conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderperson Ranky. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in recess.